As overlanders, we often get very wrapped up in what kind of shoes we put on our rigs.
Odds are, if you're out with your overlanding friends, the conversation's going to turn to tires at some point. But what about the shoes we put on our feet?
Obviously, there are many legitimate choices for footwear. You should wear what you found to be most comfortable and effective for the way you explore.
I personally have found that work boots is the choice that makes the most sense for me.
So when Rock Rooster Footwear reached out, I was more than happy to give their boots a try. Rock Rooster offers a wide variety of models, including an assortment of hiking shoe options, but I went with something designed more as a work boot. I'm going to talk about why work boots are my choice of footwear for overlanding, and then I'm going to give you my first impressions of these particular boots. Rock Rooster did provide these boots to me at no charge, but any opinions I express here are fully my own. So, why do I wear work boots year-round? When I'm out exploring the backcountry, if I do any hiking at all, it's almost never on an actual hiking trail. Instead, I'm usually clambering across random terrain, either to get a closer look at some natural feature or running to set up and retrieve my camera. These are inevitably uneven surfaces which may include random rocks, logs, holes, or other obstacles. I find the sturdy support of a work boot wrapping up around my ankles provides a more sure, solid step over uneven terrain, and I feel far less likely to twist or roll an ankle if I step wrong. These Rock Rooster boots are the smaller 6-inch model, though they actually come up higher on my ankle than my previous pair of boots. This reassuring support around my ankles feels more than adequate to me, although they do also offer an 8-inch model in many of their designs. The tough, grippy, slip-resistant soles often found on work boots also prove adept at handling the varied surfaces and conditions I encounter out in the wilderness, spanning all 4 seasons. I haven't had the Rock Rooster boots long enough to get a feel for the grip, though the soles have a chunky, confidence-inspiring tread design, and the rubber feels nicely flexible and grippy. On overlanding trips, I may not be on my feet as much as someone who is hiking all day long, but I do enough walking and standing that the comfort of my footwear can really have an impact on how I feel as the day progresses. Work boots in particular are often geared towards being on your feet all day and keeping your feet as comfortable as possible within a highly functional shoe. This can include the cushioning of the sole as well as the padding around other areas. These Rock Rooster boots are very nicely cushioned. They feel great under my feet. Additionally, the padding around the ankle is especially nice. This has been a problem in past boots I've owned, with my ankles sore at the end of the day. This won't be a problem here. Another thing I like about work boots is just the fact that they're a little roomier inside usually, unlike tennis shoes, which tend to feel sort of constrictive on my feet by the end of the day. There's plenty of room in a work boot for a thick wool sock. I do wear heavy wool socks year-round. I find them to be the most comfortable choice in really all conditions. They definitely obviously keep your feet warm in winter, but counterintuitively in the summer, I also find them to be the most comfortable. They're more breathable than any synthetic fiber I've ever tried. On top of that, thick wool socks simply provide a nice extra layer of padding and cushion all around your foot. And they handle moisture much better than cotton.
Speaking of moisture, this is another reason that I opt for work boots. You can usually find models that are waterproof.
I love that with a single pair of boots, I'm prepared for any unexpected conditions I may encounter. Even on early summer trips, I've found myself deep in wet, slushy snow, and obviously all winter long, rain and snow is a possibility, or simply treading through wet grasses on a cool morning. Waterproof work boots coupled with wool socks keep my feet warm, dry, and comfortable regardless of the weather, and this makes a huge difference in how much I enjoy my time out in the wilderness. Spending hours with cold, wet toes is miserable, but having your feet warm and dry makes you feel warmer in general, even when you're out in the cold and wet. And that means when you get up in the morning, you've got dry shoes to slip your feet into. This pair of Rock Rooster work boots is waterproofed with a breathable membrane, and I'm looking forward to stomping through some snow in them this winter.
My experience over the years has been that shoes with a full leather exterior simply hold up better in rough conditions. There are no cloth fibers to get snagged in branches or rocks and start to fray and cause holes. So far, I've gone over 25 years on just 2 pair of all leather boots. That appeals to my budget-minded approach. I haven't had these Rock Rooster boots long enough to get a sense of their durability, but I did opt for a fully leather shoe to give me the best chances of a good long life. Okay, I know you're about to point out that many hiking boots provide all of the same benefits, and yes, I completely agree. Work boots and hiking boots are similar in a lot of ways, and all of the things that I've mentioned so far would also make a good case for choosing a good hiking boot over, say, a sneaker or some other kind of shoe. But many work boots offer one additional feature that I appreciate, and that is injury protection.
Work boots frequently come with built-in toe protection made of steel or composite materials. An overlanding expedition can find you carrying logs or large pieces of firewood, moving large rocks on the road or building fire pits, swinging axes, wielding chainsaws, and other such hazards. I love that my work boots have what is essentially a little built-in helmet to keep my toes safe. Work boots often also incorporate some kind of puncture-resistant layer in the sole.
I've suffered 3 puncture injuries in my feet over the years, and I would like very much not to make it 4.
While stepping on a nail may seem unlikely out in the backcountry, I actually find and explore abandoned historic sites pretty regularly, which can be a minefield of potential foot dangers. Even dispersed campsites often have remnants of pallets or other wood constructions which can pose a threat of puncture injury. These Rock Rooster boots include both toe protection and a Kevlar plate built into the sole to prevent punctures.
Probably the main downside to using a work boot is simply how heavy they are. They're definitely not designed to be lightweight. My old hiking boots weighed in at, and the work boots I've been using for the past couple of years weigh in at. These Rock Rooster boots are even heavier at. For my uses on overlanding trips and the short impromptu hikes I take, the weight is not really an issue. Or if you're regularly taking longer hikes, work boot is probably not the best choice.
Looking through the Rock Rooster site, I see they do offer a number of lighter weight hiking models.
You may have a different perspective on what makes sense for adventure footwear. For me, the sure-footed support, the all-weather comfort, and the protective qualities of a good solid leather work boot make the most sense for my overland excursions. I love that I can throw on my boots and know that I'll be prepared for anything I might encounter out there.
Thank you to Rock Rooster for the opportunity to give their boots a try. I like that this is a well-designed boot that comes in at a very reasonable price point for the features it includes, and I look forward to putting these to the test over the coming seasons.